Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we are going to be meal prepping for camping, and not just any camping. It's a camping site next to where whales pass by. So one of the days we have a whale tour booked, but today we're meal prepping. I think we're gonna start with egg bites and the chicken patties that we will make for the burgers. I will freeze both of these because then they will stay fresh like through the long weekend in the cooler. So let's get started. I'll show you all the ingredients and I'll link down below the recipes as well. So let's get into it. For the egg bites, I do like to use peppers, zucchinis, but since I don't have zucchinis, I will use instead a bit of jalapeno as well as red onion. I'll link the recipe down below. The recipe I think only uses peppers and spinach, but you can add like potatoes if you want, honestly any veggie. Oh, and I also add sun-dried tomatoes. It was delicious when I added this. So honestly, you can add sun-dried tomatoes, regular tomatoes, anything. So let's get started cutting up the veggies and putting them in the pan with butter so that they start cooking before we put them in the oven with the eggs. So let's get started. Are all the veggies. We're gonna put them in the pan with the butter. Decided we're gonna add also one of these. I don't cook it all the way through, but I do want especially the peppers to be a little less like hard, but they will continue cooking obviously in the oven with the eggs. I will preheat the oven at 350 as well. Now for the egg mix, I'm gonna break 6 eggs into a little magic bullet cup. We're gonna apply salt, pepper, and then the cottage cheese. The recipe tells you how much you should add of cottage cheese. I just go like with my eyes. And I also like to add goat cheese as well, like you will see when we put them together. Oh, and I also like to add coriander to it, so gives it even a fresher taste. Now let's blend it. Then I just grease a pan, like a muffin pan. I put a little bit of olive oil. I just go in like this. Oops. Then I distribute this equally in each little hole. So this is what it looks like right before we add the eggs. It looks so pretty, like a rainbow. So now let's add the eggs on top. From 18 to 22 minutes. So let's put it on the clock and let's go. While that cooks, let's get started with the chicken patties. So the first thing I'm gonna do is cut up chicken breasts down the middle, so there's like half of it, so it's not as like thick. And then we will put like one of these little bowls with panko and flour, and another one of these little bowls with the egg mix, so that we can coat them in that before we put it in the pan. We only use stainless steel pans, so what I do always before starting on the chicken is preheating this and putting butter in it, so it's very, very hot once you put the chicken on so that it doesn't stick. So let's get started on prepping the chicken. I always remove the little fat first so that you don't get any fat chunks when you're eating. That's like the thing that gives me the ick the most. Now that we remove the fat, I just put the knife like this and go all the way to the end. So I cut it down the middle so that there's like 2 patties. So now that we have the patties, I'm gonna break an egg into one of these. And I'm gonna mix it just with a fork. And in the second one, I'm gonna put breadcrumbs. Like this. And now I'm gonna add flour. Now I mix it up. Now we're gonna put each chicken breast into the egg and then into the flour and breadcrumb mix. Before we do that, actually I'm going to check on these because it's been about 20 minutes. So this is what they're looking like. Actually gorgeous egg bites. Look how they rose. So I think I'm going to take those out now. Let's get started with the chicken. I'm just gonna take this and start dipping it. And as you can see, the pan is really, really hot. Like the butter is pretty black. But that's what we want for it not to stick. The lineup so far, we have the chicken patties and the egg bites that I'm gonna freeze once they cool down. Now we're gonna make arepas. And I don't have the flour that I usually use, but I have this one, so I'll just use this one because I need to use it. So let's get started. For the arepas, you need a big bowl where you can put boiling water in, so don't use plastic. Then you need the flour, salt, butter, and boiling water. So we're gonna first boil this water and I'll be back. Again, I put butter on a stainless steel pan and I'm gonna start heating it up so that when you put the arepas on the pan, they don't stick. Like I said, make sure it's corn flour. I'm just gonna put some like this. I'm just gonna put some butter, salt, and the boiling water, and you're gonna mix. Here is the meal prep so far. We have the arepas that we're gonna eat for breakfast with the egg bites. Of course, we're gonna add cheese on it once we're there. and also the chicken patties. So that's all I'm gonna meal prep for today because I also just made dinner. It's like salmon, sweet potato, avocado, cottage cheese, rice bowls or like plates. So that will be it for today, and we'll continue this another day. Now for one of the most important things we bring camping, a hot chocolate kit. So of course you need non-fridge milk, you need chocolate, we use 95%, and very important, in again a compostable baggie, I put cloves. So cloves and cinnamon sticks. So this makes the chocolate 10 times better. Trust me on this. Just make a little mix here, and when you get to the camping, you put it all in a pot, stir, and it's delicious. Next thing we're gonna prepare is a pizza. Of course, you can just bring one of these. There's a lot of good frozen pizzas out there, but I want to give myself the challenge to make it. So we're gonna get started on the dough because that has to raise for 1 hour, and in the meantime, I'll get started on the toppings. I'll put the recipe down below of the dough that I'm making, but basically I'm just gonna put 3/4 of a cup of hot water. Then he said a pack of yeast, so I will add that. And then the video said a teaspoon of granulated sugar here. Then the video said to give it a mix and wait 5 to 7 minutes, and that it should get frothy. Okay, so for a second I got scared because there was no foam, but here it is. I left it for 10 minutes and now it's very, very, very foamy. So now we're gonna add 2 cups of flour here. Now we're gonna add the salt and the sugar. He said 2 teaspoons, so I'm just gonna... and 1 tablespoon of olive oil. Look how pretty the dough is. Well, I heated the oven a little bit to like 100 Fahrenheit so that it's nice and hot and that this can rise properly. There we go. We're gonna let it rise for 1 hour and then we'll be back. Let's do a reveal of the dough. Here we go. Please look how cute this is. Perfect. That we made for breakfast. So the more you meal prep for camping, or that you pre-cut everything, the easier it's gonna be on that day. I wanted to touch on a couple things that we didn't talk about other than the meal prep that I showed you. I'm packing everything in here, and I wanted to show you also we froze beef skewers that we're gonna have for one of the meals with this rice. So that's gonna be another meal. Then the hot chocolate kit I already showed you. We're bringing some honey and the cloves and the cinnamon. We're also bringing some kombucha, pre-cut bread for the burgers with cheese, with red onion, avocados. This sauce is for the morning when we eat the arepas with the eggs and we put the cheese on top. Also some fruit, some cherries and some watermelon, mayo for the burger, butter when we're cooking, this little olive oil that we got as a gift to put on top of the pizza because we love to drizzle pizza with olive oil, couple snacks here, and yeah, and also water, of course. So I'm gonna continue putting all the frozen things into our cooler. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know if you have any camping meal ideas below, and I'll see you in my next one.